Hello and welcome to episode 16 of Setting Up Todoist series. In this episode, I want to take you through a feature that is available to everyone and can really help your tasks to stand out on a daily basis. Now, of course, we have priorities that we can set in Todoist, but few people know that you can actually use text formatting to make things stand out a little bit more. Now, this is really useful if you've got long lists of tasks in any particular day and you're looking for something to do very quickly. Now, if you remember from my episode 1 on setting up projects, I recommended that you set up your tasks with a strong verb. Verbs like write or collect or set up, review, prepare, create. Using verbs like that as your starting word in your task helps you to be able to see immediately what you need to do. So to show you this feature in a little bit more detail, I've set up my inbox with a few tasks. Let's just imagine that I've collected these throughout the day, and as you can see in my first task here, I have review, which is highlighted. So review project proposal from Fred. Now what I've done is I've put review in bold. Now to bold something is really quite simple. Todoist has its own code for this, which is exclamation mark, then the word that you want, and then at the end of the word another 2 exclamation marks. Now, I like that. That looks really good. However, if I take you to my work folder and a project I'm working on at the moment, which is this business creativity book, you'll notice up here that I have writing in brackets, and this is another way that you can do this, and I actually prefer this way. So if we go back to the inbox, what I've got is a few of these tasks. I've shown you this one here, but let's just remove that. And I'm going to use my system, which is to put everything in capitals. So 2 exclamation marks, review. Sorry, I like to put my brackets in there too because it just gives it a little bit more formality. And then 2 more, and then save. And we have review project proposal from Fred. This also helps me a little bit. I know I'm going to use the label at review because I have a review label and I can save that. But this also helps me a little bit when I'm doing at the end of a day, when you're particularly tired and you're doing your mini review or your daily review. And what I like to do is when I'm looking at the next 7 days, if I've got these highlighted verbs at the beginning of each task, it gives me a pretty good idea of what kind of work I'm going to have to do. So I've got here, ask Sarah to dinner on Saturday. That could be a call. So again, I would put exclamation mark, bracket and call. And you can say calls if you want. And then I'm just going to put in save. So as I go through this, you can see how this can be really, really useful. So again, we collect, so I could put errand and just save that. So when you end up with a list, let me just go through these, prepare materials for next week. I could probably say this is preparation. And again, although I know preparation isn't a verb, but and neither is errand, but you can see how this is. This can be very useful, and it actually makes your Todoist lists look very. Well, I just think the aesthetic of it actually looks really, really nice. And here we go. And as I've got one here, continue writing book. And I'm going to show you something else in a second, but let's just finish this off so you can see what the list looks like. So if you look at that list now, I can just have a quick scan of the list and I can immediately see what type of work is going to be created. Now, You've also, if you've watched all my previous episodes, you also know what DWD stands for. For those of you who don't know, DWD for me is what I use in my creative tasks for things that are ongoing that I need to add to each day or every 2 days or every week. DWD means delete when done. Now, what you'll notice is I've actually created a different kind of code for this bold and italic. To create a bold and italic effect, what you need to do is use something called Markdown syntax, and that's using a lot of stars. It's quite involved. If you're really interested in learning Markdown, I strongly recommend you do a Google search for Markdown. It would take me forever to explain Markdown, but actually Markdown's not that difficult to learn. But here what I've got is star space star star and then my DWD and then star and star star again. And what that creates is a bold and italic letters. Now, this is a really, really good way of, as I say, just being able to see what's involved in each particular task, and it's something that you may want to consider when you set up your tasks. It does take a few more seconds to do this, so it might not be for everyone, but it is actually quite a cool trick. If you're really interested in this, then if you go to the Todoist support pages, you've got a website on text formatting, and you can see they do support Markdown. They have Todoist and Todoist links. You can set it up here. For comments, you can use inline code and code block if that's what you really want. This is all really nice, and you can also use emojis. So if you really want to learn more about formatting the text in Todoist, then that's the place to go. I will put a link down below in the notes section so you can go straight to it. And for some of you, it may be very useful. I personally don't use it for everything, but for important tasks, it is something that from time to time I have done. And I do find that it can be very useful if I really want to have a quick scan through my list, particularly if I'm using my iPhone and I want to see what kind of work, if you like, what kind of work I'm in the mood for. So, once again, I hope that's been useful for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to get all my latest episodes as and when I publish them. I do try to publish on a Tuesday and Thursday. That's Seoul, South Korea time. And I do occasionally, from time to time, publish on a Sunday. But to get the latest episodes, best way to do it is to subscribe. And don't forget, if you have any requests for any features that you'd like me to cover in an episode, in a future episode, please leave a comment below and I will try and do my best to add the episode. So, until next time, have a great week. And if it's close to the weekend, have a great weekend. And I hope to see you in episode 17.